that helps protect against 14 serious diseases before the age of 2. Yet, according to the National Immunization Survey, among African American children aged 19 to 35 months nationwide, approximately 30% have not been fully vaccinated with all the CDC recommended vaccines. As parents, getting our children vaccinated with all doses at the scheduled times is one of the most important steps we can take to help protect them from serious illnesses.
Families without vaccine insurance coverage may be eligible for vaccines at reduced or no cost through the Vaccines for Children program, or VFC. Learn more at vaccinateourchildren.com. This message is sponsored by the NAACP New York State Conference in partnership with Pfizer.
And welcome back to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Donyshia Boston-Hill, along with Ray Schwetz, and our guest today, helping us with logistics and warehousing, is Lauren Nichols, president of 3G Warehouse, Inc.
Now, tell us a little bit about your marketing, because you had mentioned the the attention to detail in your company culture, and how do you extend that to the public?
So our industry is a little tricky because unless you need us, you're not looking for us, right? So you could be going along in your business, and until you kind of reach that tipping point where you need a company like us, you're not necessarily looking for us until that time. So we spend a lot of our energy and time doing online marketing, making sure that our website has all the keywords, because our customers are finding us many times on the internet by typing in exactly what they need. Warehousing on Long Island, kitting services in New Jersey. It's very specific keywords that they're looking for that kind of bring them right to us. So that's part of it. And then the other part is just by really being honest and transparent in what we're doing. We have great customer retention. We have a large list of customers who would happily recommend us and do. So a lot of our growth has been from our customers recommending us to different people they know within their industries.
Now, I think, to the general public, a lot of warehousing, and probably what you do from looking at your website, is, what they see in movies. So I would ask, has any movies or film crews been set or filmed on any of your locations?
We did have a small scene from a show that was, I can't remember the name of it, but they did come in and they kind of mocked up the warehouse as though it was a Home Depot warehouse, and they came in with all different, tarps and things like that to make it look like a Home Depot entranceway.
Very cool. All right, so we know that that's an option for you.
Yes, for sure. If things get slow, we'll certainly
if there are
go after
folks,
that business.
Hollywood folks listening, that we can dress you up and use the warehouse for that. That's pretty awesome.
For sure, yeah. But to your point, we're a small business. Mm-hmm. Our goal really is to provide our core services and then add everything else. We really want to be that total solution provider for our customer, so they could do what they're good at and we could do what we're good at.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, I guess, because I was trying to think, how do you market yourself to people? Because it isn't that, as you said, people are necessarily looking for that until they're in that situation. So you're basically getting the email or the person checking your website, they're like, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah, yep, 100%. Or, oh my gosh, Oprah wants to list us on her, favorite thing list, and we're definitely going to be in trouble. Something's going to go wrong. We just had a customer just this week came in. They're a successful brand in New York City. They do mostly small shipments, and they're doing a big shipment to Urban Outfitters. And she came in and was like, there's just no way I can pack this by myself. We've outgrown our offices. We need help.
That's great. Yeah. What top 3 business tips would you give an entrepreneur?
So I think the first one would always be to be honest. To be honest with yourself, be honest with your staff, and be honest with your customers. We're very good at doing what we know how to do and saying no when it's outside of our comfort level. So everybody has normal expectations. So it would be one. Number 2 would be to pay attention to the culture of your company. I could be the best and the smartest at my job, but if I don't have a great team surrounding me, it's all for nothing. So my second would definitely be to surround yourself with good people so that you have a great culture. And then I think the third would be to manage your cash flow. I feel like we talk about this all the time, with different friends that I have that own companies. It's such an important part of growing a business, and we see a lot of successful businesses that are undercapitalized or just didn't really prepare for their growth. And we always say growth is great and it's amazing and it's what everybody's goal is, but with growth comes issues, and you need to be able to sustain, added inventory or more personnel or, longer lead time on your receivables. So to manage your cash flow, because when you need it, you can't get it. So to always kind of be forecasting forward and say, okay, what are my next, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year plans look like, and what do I need to do to make sure I get there?
What has been your lowest pitfall in business? We always hear about the glory, but what has been your lowest pitfall in business, and what did you learn from that?
For me, the one that sticks out is, when I started out doing this, I obviously hadn't spent years and years in business, and everything I had done was all very personal, right? You're working with children and families, and, it was very personal. So it took me a long time to learn that business is not personal. It is personal, but when people make business decisions, they're not personal decisions, they're business decisions. So we had a, pretty big customer of ours, probably my first year in business. We had a great relationship with them, and, they always were in our office and going out to lunch and doing this and doing that, and they ended up leaving over, I want to say it was like 10 cents a case, and I was floored. I remember saying, how could they leave us? But it was then that I realized it's not personal. It's business. They liked us. We liked them. But at the end of the day, for them, it was about the dollars. So I think the personal part really adds to the relationship, but it's not personal.
No, it's interesting because I think a lot. I keep thinking of the Toys R Us scenario right now, with the big box retail, facing the challenges that they're facing now. And to me, it was such an emotional thing to see the going out of business sign pop up on a Toys R Us. And as you said, it's not personal, but from what I hear, a lot of the reason that they are going out of business is because they didn't keep up with the times in terms of that whole chain that you're involved with.
Right.
What sort of challenges are you seeing now as people are shopping more in the online world than they are in the retail world?
Yeah, it's definitely a changing culture. We talk about it a lot. It certainly affects us. Some people, 2 years ago were saying, are you worried? What's going to happen? For us, we do a lot of business with the online world. Mm-hmm. So, we do a lot of shipping to Amazon. People have products that they want to send to Amazon, but they're not labeled properly, or they're not kitted properly, or bagged properly. So for us, we're still involved in that portion of the business. But what it has created is a I want it today culture. So for all of our customers that aren't necessarily playing the Amazon game or playing that, 1 to 2 day shipping game, they're really struggling because our society doesn't really want to wait 6 weeks for a play-in to come in. They're like, forget it, I'll go on Costco, I'll have it next week. So we see it really starting to affect some of our smaller brands or, companies that haven't really gotten in the e-com game, and some of them are just kind of late to the table on it. But it also is certainly creating increase of logistics needs, transportation needs, UPS. We look at some of the UPS claim issues or USPS claim issues, and it's just becoming this big, giant rolling ball that is, being dictated by some of the big retailers, big online presences for sure.
Yeah. You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, and our guest today is Lauren Nichols, president of 3G Warehouse Incorporated. Now, with those challenges in mind, you're making those partnerships. It's interesting when I also read recently a book with Amazon about Amazon, and they say that whenever they have board meetings, they always leave one chair empty in the board meeting. And do you know who that's for?
No.
It's for the customer. Because every decision that they make, they want to make sure they're keeping in mind that empty chair, the customer. Obviously, you're doing that. You're always keeping in mind who that customer is because that customer has changed.
Yes, definitely. And their expectations have changed. And how our customers make decisions has changed because of who the end consumer is and what their expectations are, right? If you think back, even just 3 years ago, it always took, 3 to 5 days to get your package. There was no such thing as same day, next day, or, 2 days unless you were paying double the cost of the product, which means you really dropped the ball and didn't plan properly. But, even for me, I know sometimes I walk through the store. I'm like, I want to get that. Oh, it's going to take up 3/4 of my trunk. I'll order it online. It'll show up at my house tomorrow.
Yep, with free shipping.
Yeah, and free returns. Yeah.
Well, you're so right, because it's not even just. I assume, like for me, kids are waiting for that stuff too. If they don't have a Zulily package in front of the house every day, they're very disappointed.
Yeah.
That instant gratification is definitely there.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, especially we're always looking at how big Amazon is getting and how much they're dictating what's going on in that online space. And we see firsthand how it affects some of our customers. We've seen customers put product on Amazon, they're running great business, and all of a sudden Amazon turns their cart off. Well, now what? Try to get someone on the phone with Amazon, you're in trouble. It's not going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of crazy things go on.
Now, you're giving a lot of insider and business tips and advice.
Yeah.
Who's mentoring you, and are you mentoring others?
So when I opened the business in 2009, I was kind of running around like a chicken without a head, and really was lacking focus and even an understanding of what I didn't know. I actually went and did the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, and through that met an incredible group of friends, really business owners and friends who were kind of going through some of the same issues that I was having. So I rely on them heavily to kind of help me navigate the waters of the future and the things that I don't know. But also my father. My father is just an incredible business person. He's an incredible soul. He has an ability to remain calm in all circumstances. And he always says, you have to be important to me to get me upset. And it really has gotten me through so many tricky situations where I say to myself, who cares? Keep it in perspective. They have to be important to me to get me upset, and, make your decisions and move forward. So he's a great mentor for me.
Now, if there's one thing that you wanted to leave with our listeners, I always like asking this, what's the one thing you'd want people to remember from the conversation that we're having today?
I think it would be that you really can do anything you put your mind to. When I had my first career, I by no means thought I'd be sitting, in a chair running a company with 70 employees and 300,000 square feet of warehouse space. I never even dreamed that possible. So I think it is to just always believe in yourself, believe that you can do it, and be kind while you do it. Be kind. That's the most important part of what I think we all should do on a daily basis.
Yeah, I agree entirely. And what's the best way? I mean, obviously, you're going to have those business owners who have reached that point where they're looking for you and they're Googling the right keywords. But if someone was looking for you specifically, what's the best way for them to find you online or on the phone?
Sure. So our website is www.3, that's the number 3, GWHSE.com. So it's 3GWHSE.com, or they can always catch us on our corporate line at 631-617-5951.
Excellent. Well, we'd like to thank you. We'd like to thank our guest, Lauren Nichols, president of 3G Warehouse Incorporated, for being with us today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Thanks, Lauren.
Now, we have a little bit of philosophy for you.
The line between disorder and order lies in logistics.
We want to thank you for being with us. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, your co-hosts and producers. The creative director of Tower Talk Business Radio is Rudy Breedy. This is an NCC Foundation Business Leaders Council production. Visit ncc.edu/WHPC for more information. Available on iHeartRadio as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. This has been Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We'll talk with you next week.